first to sketch it out, then crayon, and then you can apply some watercolor. And if you're allowed to and have some glitter, you could add a little bit of sparkle to the background. All right, gather your supplies and meet me right back here. See you soon. All right, welcome back. So I'm starting with a pencil because I want to use light sketching lines. When I use light sketching lines, I'm sort of tickling the paper with the pencil. I'm not applying a lot of pressure, and you can see my line, maybe, but it's not going to be a dark line. The reason we start with sketching is that if we make a mistake and want to change something, we can easily erase these lines because they're not going to get deep into the paper. After I make my circle for the head, I'm going to make another oval for the muzzle. Same sketching method. You can make 3 million lines. It doesn't matter how many lines you make because you're going to be erasing. Next, I'm going to make a rainbow line for one side of the face and a rainbow line for the other side of the face. And this is going to act as sort of a frame for its eye. Now we're practicing drawing symmetrically. We're trying to draw the same on both sides. This is something that takes a lot of practice, and I don't want you to get frustrated. I just want you to enjoy yourself and try something new. Nothing to get frustrated about. The next thing we're going to do is we have some shoulders for our deer, and we're going to start them right about here. And I'm not going to finish drawing because I need to add in some other things over here. We also need to add in the white section that is the chest of the reindeer. So if you're following along in the guide, we did this one, this one, this one. And I'm adding some lines right now to show you. These lines go down and it just stops. So down, stops, because we're going to be adding in some other things below, and I don't want that a harsh line to get in the way. Okay, I'm on this one here, so I'm going to go a little bit down, and I'm making giant U's. Can you see them? Now these might look like something else to you. It may not look like a giant U. But to me it looks like a giant U. And I want these kind of fun shaped, so I'm going to make it go out a little bit, bow out a little bit. The next thing I need to add is my back foot. So sketching in the back foot. In my classroom, we like to say, draw it light until you make it right. So you really want to practice getting the habit of using that pencil softly. It causes a lot less frustration. Now this is not perfectly symmetrical. That's okay. I'm still learning and still working. Here's one eye. Using that same strategy the whole time. Now in my drawing guide, we have diamond shaped eyes. That was my daughter's idea, but she also came up with some other ideas, which I'm sharing with you now. So she has these really cute different types of eyes, and then she did one here as well. So you can choose the type of eye you'd like to make, and I can see that mine's very crooked right now, so I'm gonna just adjust one of the eyes. And I'm gonna go with that diamond shape again. Sorry, we have a visitor. It's a dog at the door. 1 second. The next step, I drew these lines. I don't know if you saw that. These lines here for the hooves. These are the back legs. The body part, all I need to do now is add in some circles to show the spots. These could be more random. These don't have to be symmetrical. And now I'm going to move to the top and work on my antlers. To me, these are like big Ys, big chunky Ys. Another way to do this is to draw a Y, so like this, and then go around. And I have my ears. These ears, that side is a little bit low. So sketching in the ears. And then my nose, I'm just making an oval. This is the type of thing, if you have another idea, you go for it. After I make my oval nose, it looks like a potato, I'm going to make my happy smile. So I made a J that way, and then I'm going to make another loop on the other side. I also want to add in a circle on either side of the cheeks and give him some nice rosy cheeks. And here's where I'm going to add those dots in. Let's see, I just need a line for my background. So in my sample, I have a line and it's going, oh, I just noticed what I forgot. How could I forget this puffy little tail? All right, I'm going to draw a half circle right here. Actually, it looks more like an egg, and add some little texture lines to show that it's fluffy. There's my leg. I hope I didn't forget anything else. Jeez. All right, the next step is my line going across. This is called my horizon line, and it can be bumpy because my little guy's outside in the snow. Now your reindeer could be anywhere. You could have your reindeer at a fancy ball, or it could be at the fire station, or it could be really anything you want it to be. So the next thing I'm going to do is draw my lights. So I'm going to start down here with my lights. I'm going to go around. And this one we're going to skip behind. So it's actually going to be behind. So I stopped here, lift. I pretend I'm drawing. So stop, lift, and go back here and kind of add that fun swirly line for my lights. Your lights can hang down, they can hang up, they can be any shape bulb you want. You don't have to make lights. This could be garland. So this really could be anything you want it to be. Could be popcorn. You could hang gumdrops if you wanted to. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start adding in my lights. I'm going to make them this time a little bit pointy, and I'm going to have them rotating sides. So that means I'm going to have some on this side and then some on this side. This is completely up to you. This is your project, and you do, as they say, you do you. So you make this how you want to make it. I'm going to pretend the next one's behind him, and so then I'm going to have one up here. And then one down here. And this one's going back in space, so it's a little bit smaller. This next one is right in front of that ear. Sorry, antler. And this one's going to go back behind. And this one is going up. Now, as you can see, some are off the page, and that's fine because that's what happens in real life. Things go off a page. One detail I liked to add, but you don't have to do this, I like to make some swoopy lines. Kind of like if you look at lights, I actually have this. This is the little swoopy line, and it shows the connection between the lights, the wires. So this, be careful here, we're skipping. When we overlap like that, it creates the illusion of depth. So it makes your piece look like it's a little bit more realistic and it's in space somewhere. Not outer space, but in a space. And by the way, this could be in outer space. That could totally be an option if you wanted. Now that I have this sketched in, I'm going to make some adjustments, and then I'm going to darken it with my pencil. Welcome back. So I'm done with the overall drawing. I did change a couple things, which you could probably see. This one is different than the other one. Every time I draw him, I make, or her, it could be a lady reindeer, girl reindeer, I make them a little different. Right now I'm just gonna move these a little closer together because I kind of liked the way that looked in the other one. It looks a little cuter. So making adjustments. See, because I use those light lines, it's no big deal when I want to make adjustments. All right, now I get to add some color. I'm going to do, now I've been thinking about this, and I've been thinking about making it a blue reindeer, but I don't want to confuse people. So I'm just going to go with the brown reindeer again. This color is chestnut, and this is a lovely color. The first thing I'd like to do is outline. So I'm going to go through, sorry, we have dogs at the door who are having emergencies. Hold on. You can apply pressure when you're drawing with a crayon. I'm just tracing the lines that I already had down. Here's that fluffy tail, and here's that white chest area. I'm using a zigzag line to give it a little bit of fur texture. I also used a zigzag line over here to give this some fur texture. I'm going to add in those circles for the different spots on my deer. And this is the smile line I used on either side for my hoof. Then I have my antlers. And, oh, the face. Whoopsie. So I outlined with this dark color, and then I'm going to go and color in with, this says it's burnt sienna. So I'm using a lighter color than I outlined with. Just gives it a nice effect. You don't have to do this. As I color, I'm coloring lightly, going back and forth, nice and even, doing a little space at a time and working my way across the paper. I'm not applying a lot of pressure. I could erase these pencil lines, which I normally would have, but totally forgot, which is not a problem. Just gonna erase a little bit here and here and there and there. And I also needed to outline these, which I'm gonna use the lighter color for that because that's what I have right now. I'm going to make a center circle that's a little bit darker as a cute little detail for my deer. And also those front hooves, so the bottom part of the leg where the hoof is, I'm going to use my darker brown for that too. If you prefer another color, by all means go ahead and do that. You could use black if you wanted. Now I'm going around here and coloring the rest of that foot. I had a really cool sparkly crayon that I wanted to do for the antlers, but I'm not sure where that is. Well, I have gold. All right, we'll go for some gold today. I'm making some gold antlers. So this is a very fancy reindeer. The other day, I think I found a metallic, like a copper color that looked really good. This is fun too. One thing I didn't say though, I did say you could add garland or strings of lights or whatever, but you could also hang little ornaments off the antlers. That would be a nice touch. Those are the ways you personalize your artwork to really make it your own. That is the dog, very, very stressed out, as you can tell, with her loud sighs. At this point, you might be like, okay, I'm really tired of coloring, but guess what? You're almost done. Making a brown nose. This could be red if you wanted it to be. And my smile, my little line. And then I'm going to go back on my ears. Oh, sorry, my circles for my cheeks. Gives it a lot of cute personality. Ooh, I think I found some of those cool metallic crayons. It's fun to experiment, so I have like a bunch of really cool crayons in here. Ooh, I found it. This is the copper. Woo! I'm gonna give Rocket some cool copper eyes. And I don't think you can see it on the camera, but this copper is metallic, so it shimmers. So his eyes sparkle, maybe like diamonds? I don't know. Making this a little bit bigger. I'm gonna blow that away. There we go. All right. I don't really care for how I colored in this part here. I'm just gonna make it a little bit darker as it goes up. This is the chestnut color that I used to outline. So I'm just gonna make it a little darker. Again, this is just something I wanted to do. Nobody has to do any of this. I like blending colors with crayons. I'm gonna outline my nose. There we go. All right, this is looking good. Now I have white. This is going to be interesting because I don't have a regular white. I only have these like really strange confetti crayons, so that's what I have to use. So when I add white, it's going to shimmer. This one is called Blizzard Burst. I think that will be a good one. I'm just adding in some lines going down to create texture. I'm going to go back into the spots, go on the face to show that there's fur here too. It's going to make a texture, but it's also going to add some color to this area instead of just being completely white. And I guess I'm getting my wish of a blue deer because it's kind of looking blue in these areas. These confetti crayons are super fun. If you're a person who doesn't mind things being multicolored, then these crayons are for you. If you don't like multicolor, then you probably won't care for these because you really can't control what they do. You can control the direction you color in, but ultimately what color gets placed down is dependent on the crayon. So now I have a few things left to do. I have to color in my lights. So this is another place there you can do you. I'm going to do me. And I'm going to use my sparkly crayons. So these are called pearl crayons. And I'm going to add some of my pearl crayon to the scene. I like these pearl crayons a lot. I'm going to put the red right up on top. Really draw the viewer's eye right into the scene. When I'm when I'm drawing these and coloring them, I'm pressing down and giving them some pressure. And I'm going to make this one yellow. Okay, I might not have that yellow crayon, so I'm going to go for a regular yellow. This is laser lemon, so it's no ordinary lemon. Whoa. Okay, that's not what I want. That is too sharp for me, too fluorescent looking. This is a low-key reindeer. So I have gone with the Banana Mania. This is more my speed. I have another one here, which I'm going to use the red crayon for, if I can find it. Sometimes you lose crayons. Okay, I'm not sure if this is my red crayon. It kind of looks like it. It was under the table. So I have a pattern, red, blue, green, yellow, red. So going the other way, I'll have yellow, which is behind the ear, green. See, my brain is so tired, I can't do backwards patterns right now. That's sad. If I don't make a pattern and I do random, no one's gonna notice. It's really gonna be fine. Okay, so I have my green and then my blue. I'm glad I get to use this blue again because I really like it. Do you have colors that you really like? I wonder what colors you made your lights. Okay, after this, then I move on to my red. So this is kind of awesome because red has shown up 3 times on the page. So this is looking very festive. I have to also outline my string for my lights. So I'm gonna put away my crayons. Ooh, I wanna use this dark blue. This is the snow in the front, and in the back, I'm gonna have the night sky. So this is the horizon line. This blue is a little brighter than I thought it was, but I can always go back over it. So this is gonna show us where this part is snow, and this part is the sky. So that's gonna help me keep track. I think I'm gonna look for a crayon for my string. Ooh, what's this? I like to, oh, let me see this. Is this a, oh, it has a nice indigo. So for this line here, I'm just gonna go over it again with the indigo. And that actually, I like how that looks. And I just broke it. As they say, a broken crayon still colors. It's very true. It does still color. Okay, for this light strip back here, I'm gonna use a brown. I'm gonna color right over that other color, the copper. Oh no, okay, I messed that up. I was not supposed to color over that one because this is behind, remember? Okay, so this one's over, this is behind, and I will just scrape it with my fingernail and color it back over with the gold. And at the base, making the little place where the bulb connects to the wire. All right, so this is looking great. I'm happy with this. Some other things you can do, you could use your white crayon or an oil pastel and you could do some resist in the background. So you could draw some snowflakes or you could draw some stars. It's really up to you. The next step for me though is I'm going to get out my watercolors and I'm actually going to, I forgot, I gotta back it up. So if you want, you don't have to do this, but if you want to, you can add some of the light from above, sort of reflecting down. So those beautiful tree lights, or not tree lights, reindeer antler lights, are reflecting down on my scene, kind of glowing in the snow. This is not needed. It's just an extra touch if you want to do it. No pressure. Okay. Now I'm going to go get my watercolor. Hey there, so this is the watercolor part of the piece, and what I did was just mix some blue with purple, and I made a lovely blurple, and then I went in the background, I went around the antlers and around those bulbs and around my deer, and then pulled the color outward. So for the small parts, we use the end of the brush, the tip of the brush, to get into the little places. And when we're painting big, we could use this part of the brush. Okay, so after I was done with the background, I'm going to dip my paintbrush in the water. It still has paint on it. I'm just going to make some really pretty shadows in the snow. In the back, I'm going to make them closer together. And then in the front, I'm going to make them a bit bigger. And that will help create that illusion of space that we were talking about. Okay, so I'm ready for my final step, which is to add some glitter. If you've gotten to this point and you don't want to add glitter, you can be done. Okay, for the final touch that I'm going to make, I'm going to add some stars in the sky. So I have some sparkly glitter glue, and I could use regular glue, but this is what I grabbed first. And I'm going to make some lines going down, and then like a T. And then another T. You kind of use the end to help direct where you want the glue to go. Pull it down. This one, I'm going to make a crisscross. You can switch it up. Here's another cross. Okay. Because I love sparkle so much, I can't just let it go at glitter glue. I have to add more sparkle. So I'm going to finish drawing with my glue. Oh, I've hit some water, so that's going to be kind of cool to see what happens there. All right. So in my sample, I used some silver. But I think I'm going to go with a sparkly blue. These are going to look more like snowflakes than stars probably, but that's okay. And just shaking a little bit and tapping it around. Because my page is a little bit wet, The glitter is going to stick to more areas, but I kind of love that because it will make, like right here, really sparkly, really sparkly. All right. Hi there. I wanted to talk a little bit about how you can make things your own. So this is my daughter's, and this is her first go, where she's doing it like the way I did the sample. And then the second go, her second time making it, she took all these fun artistic ideas and combined them to make a whole scene of little reindeer. And you can do that too. After you learn how to draw something, you can mix it up and make it your own. I hope you had a good time today creating with me, and I can't wait to see what you make. All right, see you again soon. Bye-bye.